Alright, hello everyone, this is Mr. Crozier. I wanted to give you some help on problem 3 right here of our practice test. The quiz tomorrow will contain this, so here we go. Let's go ahead and graph this. Well, the first thing we want to do is fill out all of this A, B, and C. And A is the amplitude is 50. Is it reflected? No, it is positive. And the period, well, the period is 2 pi divided by B. However, two things to notice. This is in degrees, so we're not going to talk about 2 pi. We're going to talk about 360 degrees in a circle instead of 2 pi radians. And then we're going to divide it by 10, so that's going to be divided by 10, and it is 36. 36 degrees for the period. Alright, is there a phase shift? Yeah, the phase shift is 9 degrees. Negative seems to the left, but remember everything is backwards. So it is to the right, so we're starting over here at a critical point of 9. Alright, midline plus 20. Alright, so now what we got to do is figure out this chart over here. And this chart over here is just a simplified version of this chart. All we're worried about is these two columns over here, X and Y. So these two columns are the same as these two columns here. And we're starting at 9, and one period is 36. So if I go down here and add on 36, I'm going to end up at 45. Because that's going to be one cycle, one period of the wave. Well, how do I get from there to there in 1, 2, 3, 4 steps? Well, I take my period, remember, and divide it by 4. 36 divided by 4 is 9. Now this 9 and this 9 are just a coincidence right here. They don't have to match. I'm starting at 9. That doesn't always mean my step is 9. It just happened to be that way. So I'm adding 9. So 9 is 18, 27, 36, 45. And hopefully you can see the period there is 36, and each step is 9. Alright, so what are the outputs of this? Well, this is a regular sine wave. So in my mind, a sine wave goes 0, 1, 0, negative 1, 0, or the midline, the maximum, the midline, the minimum, and the finish on the mid, right? Sine goes up, down, and back up. Alright, so what is the middle? Well, the middle is the midline, so this is 20, and 20, and 20. Well, what is the maximum? Well, the maximum is how high it goes, and it goes up by 50, so the maximum must go up to 70, and the minimum I would go down from here 50, so that would be negative 30. And then you can go ahead and put this into a graph, however you can get it to work. Alright, I wanted to show one more problem here, number 5. On number 5, we have to graph this cosecant graph. What we're going to do is just graph y is equal to 3 sine of 2x. Everything's the same. Nothing's different at the beginning. So amplitude 3, reflected, no. Period, 2 pi divided by the b value is pi. Phase shift, there is none. Midline, sinusoidal axis is just another fancy name for it here. Y is equal to 0, there is none. Critical points, well, I'm starting at 0 and I'm ending up, again, I'll draw this on here, I'm ending up at pi. So I'm adding on a pi. And how do I get there? Well, it's over here, I'm starting at 0, then it's 1/4 and 2/4 and 3/4 and 4/4, starting at 0/4. Those were our steps from before. We don't need the steps anymore. So this is pi over 4, pi over 2, and 3 pi over 4. Another way to think of it, this is 0, 25 cents, 50 cents, 75 cents, 1 whole. But those are the fractions. And again, what are the outputs? Well, again, it's sine. In my mind, it goes 0, 1, 0, negative 1, 0. But we're multiplied by a factor of 3, so 0, 3, 0, negative 3, 0. And again, graph it. Just make sure your scale's even. This is a period, and this repeats. 0, 1, 0, 0. Here, maximum, minimum, and zeroed all the way through. And then once you have that graph, remember, let's go ahead and just look at a little graph of it. You can see the actual graph on in the classroom, but it's going to go from 0 to pi, and it's going to go up, then down, and it's going to be at 3 and -3. But what is the cosecant part of this? Well, the cosecant part says draw an axis at all of these points on the intercept. All of those points, and just do the flipped version of it. The flipped version there. The flipped version there. So the pencil is your sine graph. The red part is your cosecant graph. Alright, I hope this helps.